What is up, people? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, The Boring. It's been a minute. A lot has happened, as you can see. We did something. And yeah, new IFBB Elite Pro. Wow, what a journey it's been. What a very emotional roller coaster few weeks it's been. Ever since show day. This will probably come out around just over a week out post show, following a peak week training session with my boy Wandy. Basically, yeah, just wanted to update you guys on what's been going on, what the prep felt like and the journey throughout the prep, what happened in peak week, the day before the show, and also kind of just what the future plans are for me and Matt that we've decided on together that will be best for me and my journey in my career in bodybuilding. So just to kind of, before we start, I want to just thank all of you for all your support, love, messages, DMs, watching the videos, supporting the channel, really being there in times where you don't know or don't understand that it meant so much to me, coming up to me in the gym, giving me some positive energy, some energy that you have when I didn't have it, or just understanding that I'm in a difficult time. And everybody that played a role, big or small, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys truly, you guys mean the world to me. And I think there's so many people that I want to thank personally. In my personal life, I want to thank my girlfriend Nicola for going through what she did, everything she did for me during this prep. I want to thank my coach Matt, his wife Fats, my boy Pet, who also earned his IFBB Elite Pro card on the same day, and his wife TK, along with my boys Wandy and Valsh and our whole friend group that has played a massive part, that's always been there, that's always willing to show up and support. That's unconditional love at its finest, at its pinnacle. That is unconditional love from our friend group and family and friends. So basically, yeah, through this prep, there have been, like any other prep, there is ups and downs. Life just doesn't stop because you're in a prep for a bodybuilding show. And basically, the prep started off very strong, very good. And then I've realized, like from past and previous preps, like my point where I get where it's like really hard, and I think this is for most athletes, is the 4 week out period is where things really get tough for me. And that's kind of where shit went down in personal lives, and that I'm not going to get into detail with, but it just kind of added more stress to the prep and to wanting to bring the best package. I do put a lot of pressure on myself, even though this was only my third show. So yes, I turned pro in my third ever bodybuilding competition at the age of 24, which is, it took me a while to give myself that grace and be proud of myself for what I achieved, because I'm so hard on myself. But yeah, so the prep was ran very smoothly for the first, I would say, 8 to 12 weeks, and then these last 4 or 5 weeks were very hard. But that's bodybuilding, that's prep. There will be a time during a prep where you need to, go through a bit of a suffering phase and dig deep to get the level of conditioning that you want. So I'm more than happy to share what the prep itself entailed in terms of dieting and all those kind of things. And we will actually be releasing a podcast on the Iron Chronicles with Pet and Matt, where we will be going into much more detail from my prep that was very different to Pet's prep, because we were doing the same show, we had the same timelines, but also from different experiences, mental approaches, and let's say body composition and structure, size, shape, all of that stuff. So I think just want to share what happened in peak week. So peak week ran very smoothly. We did a front load. The things went exactly as planned. I was very much in my own head because I've never really done a front load, and I was very scared of spilling, which is kind of what the point is, and Matt can explain more on that topic. But basically on the Friday before the show, the registration, we had a team training session in the morning, and we took my height and I heighted in at 181 centimeters. So that means my weight cap is by default like a 94 or something like that. So I woke up Friday morning at around 92. So we were comfortably within the weight cap to our knowledge. Then what happened was we go to registration, have a few meals in, go to registration, and they heightened me in at 1.8 on the dot. So that means my weight cap now goes to like a 91. And I stepped on the scale at 93.8 or something. I messaged Matt telling him that I'm overweight. Luckily with the IFBB, you can then check in the next day as well, so you can make some changes. And that's what they advised me to do. So the decision was then, do I now pursue this and go ahead with it? Or do I rather just do bodybuilding over 90 kgs and call it a day? And I was not willing to do that. My body and my structure is built for classic. So we really pushed hard that Friday night. I didn't have registration, ended at 5, or I walked out of registration at 5, messaged Matt, told him what the situation is. He said, right, from now on up until after registration, the Saturday morning, which was like 9. So from 5 p.m. Friday up until after 9, the Saturday morning, no fluids and no food. And I need to go for a walk to get the expenditure up so that I can burn some, get some movement going, to burn some water off or burn some of the food off that we had prior to registration. Did that, woke up the Saturday morning quite early, woke up at like a 92.5-ish. So we had like a kg and a half, 1.5 kgs to go, which I felt we would comfortably make because it was about 4 hours till registration. So I was comfortable with that. Just had to get through not being able to eat or drink or actually just carb up a bit for the show, maybe try out a bit more. So then we go to registration, Matt's there, we go up to the registration area and they height me in at 181, which is what we thought, and my weight cap is now 94. So essentially that was a mistake, and not that it was all for nothing, because at the end of the day we did achieve something, and it just adds to the story being much cooler. So, but yeah, that is what happened in peak week. And then I go on stage. My goal was to be present in the moment as much as I can, and really just take in everything from the tan, from the posing, from the judging, from everything. So I didn't have like a clear, decisive goal that I wanted to place first or second. Obviously, you train and you prep to win, but we didn't have anything really in mind. We were just kind of just doing the show to get the experience, get the data, and then see where we need to go from there. And then we brought a package good enough to turn pro. And I must say, I'm very proud of myself and what me and Matt have achieved in the year and 4 months that I've been with him. It's crazy. This being my third prep, my third show, and already achieving the level of progression that I have from previous shows, my body is completely different, and that's just with a year and 4 months with Matt. So truly something to be proud of. Going forward, and this will be a very short vlog, just kind of an update. Going forward, I will be pursuing the pro league, the pro status. I will be pursuing the IFBB on an international level. I want to be compared next to the pros in this federation. This is a very strong federation, not only in South Africa, but also especially in Europe and UK. This is one of the biggest federations in the world. It's actually the second biggest federation after the IFBB Pro League, which is the NPC, as most of you know it. So the plan now forward is to grow and put as much tissue on the upper body especially, and be more competitive on an international level. So I will be looking at international shows for next year or early 2027. So probably end of 2026, early 2027 is when I'll be stepping on stage on an international level, if we do go according to the plan. But up until then, we will be growing this body. So really excited about the future and working with Matt really has changed my perspective on bodybuilding. And not only that, but the people that I surround myself with in the industry have changed my perspective on bodybuilding so much. And there aren't any words that can describe how grateful I am for them and how excited I am for the future. At the end of the day, the pro league and the pro level is where you want to be at, is where you want to compare yourself. So being 24, turning pro in my third show, it's kind of like the sky's the limit at this point. So from now, the plan is to go into a health phase, and then after that, go straight into a very aggressive improvement season where we will bring up all the lagging body parts, but mainly upper body needs to come up a lot. I am about 8 to 9 kilograms under my weight cap for both IFBB and MPC. And with my structure, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. If I fill my weight cap, it's fucking over for all of you. And I'm just going to say that. I'm confident in myself. I finally got the evidence to believe in myself that I am a bodybuilder and that I can be a good bodybuilder. I'm not going to say I'm the next Mr. Olympia or anything. I'm just going to be a very competitive bodybuilder. And when my time comes to fill my weight cap for both IFBB and MPC, it's going to be very interesting. Let me just say that and leave it at that, because that is for a few years down the road. But up until then, please stay along for off-season vlogs, full days of eating, 10,000 calorie challenges, training, collaborations. I've got a lot of stuff planned for this off-season in terms of content, how I want to build my brand, how I want to be more engaged, and how I want to be more relatable and raw with everyone on the other side of the screen. And that is ultimately what my goal is. I don't do this for external validation. I do this because I want people to feel that they can relate to somebody in the industry and not have this image of nothing phases me in life. I don't go through my own stuff. I want to be as real and authentic and raw as possible and relatable. So that is the plan. It's a very short vlog, very quick update on what the future plans are, kind of what prep was like. We'll go into more detail on the prep side of things with Matt and Pet on the podcast, and peak week in terms of a diet, PDs, cardio, training, all those kind of small little details that maybe you can take into your own journey of bodybuilding. But for now, I'm going to savor this moment with friends and family and enjoy it. Enjoy food again, but to an extent, not too much. Still want to have some visible abs in a few weeks' time. And then plan the road ahead, plan what international shows we want to do, commit to it, and then see where we compare on the big international stage for this federation. Up until then, you guys can be expecting a lot more frequent content, frequent videos, frequent vlogs, a lot more in the day, a day in the life, full days of eating. I am somebody that goes on the higher end of an off season with like 1,000 grams of carbs, over 6,000 calories. So I'm going to show you some of the tips that I use to help me get in those kind of the volume of food that I normally have to get to. And then any other creative ideas that you guys would love to see, please comment below. I'm going to be trying to be as creative as possible, but that's not my best, my strength really. I leave that to Nicola, and I lean off of other bodybuilders to help me with what I can create and put out. But in the meantime, like I said, I'll be enjoying this, taking it in, and yeah, it's been a journey, and it's literally only the beginning. I've only done 3 shows. I'm only 24. I've got time on my side, and promise you, when we reach the point of filling my weight cap, things are going to get interesting very fucking quick. But yeah, up until then, follow along the journey of the new IFBB Elite Pro, the Bull. And because I haven't brought them on the page yet, this is my princess, little Bonnie. This is Bonnie. Hello, hello. My princess. I promised you guys I will show them on the page, so this is like the perfect time to do it. So that's Bonnie, and this is my boy. This is my boy Woody. This is literally my whole heart in one little long short-legged dog with big ears. Love this little man so much. So this is Bonnie, this is Woody. This is Woody, that was Bonnie. They'll be featuring on the page a lot more on like the day in the life, personal kind of things, personal vlogs. You'll see them a lot more basically, but just wanted to introduce them. Yeah, stay tuned guys, please like and subscribe. Yeah, sorry about that. Yay. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, do the works, and stay tuned for more raw, authentic, relatable content. And remember, a bull never bows.